Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. Also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We are continuing our run here of Todd McFarlane on The Amazing Spider Man with Amazing Spider Man 317 from 1989. And we see here Spider Man versus Venom. And here on the cover, has Venom become kinder and gentler? Read our lips, Spidey. No way. Great cover here by Todd McFarlane. Man, I wish the guy would still draw. I'd really miss his art. But it is what it is. And so McFarlane really went all in on the ticks here, the scratching, the feathering, whatever you want to call it. I think this is feathering, but I think these are just lines. He's very efficient at it. Puts them anywhere. It's just kind of cool here. Todd McFarlane really did change how we look at comic books. Him, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, um, Eric Larson, yes, even Rob Liefeld. They really changed the game in the late 80s, early 90s. And so we are in Aunt May's house in Queens. And so we're getting a recap. Eddie Brock has escaped from prison. He's after him. And so he's going out shopping with Aunt May here. So um, he's thankful he doesn't know where he lives here. It's nice to see McFarlane doing some normal kind of like everyday outfits. That's pretty cool. But as I mentioned, man, he will put a line on anything. Just and um so because he doesn't think he that Venom knows where he lives, he's gonna go shopping. He's just not gonna worry about it. But we all know we saw the end of the previous issue, and so he's like, after you, pretty lady, can't keep those sales clerks waiting for you. So off they go, and then he goes, no. And again, just any which way, man. McFarlane, I truly do miss his art. Gosh, I wish he would draw again. So Eddie Brock, of course, is right there waiting for him. And I love this with the hands there, kind of first perspective view here. And so Eddie says, can Peter come out and play? And The Sand and the Fury is the title of our tale. David Michelinie or Michelinie is the writer, with Todd McFarlane doing the art, Jim Salicrup and Tom DeFalco in the editorial. And he's like, don't touch her, but he's thinking it. And he says, you must be Peter's aunt. It's an honor to meet someone so. And so you see Venom kind of going through innocent. And he's like, alien costume too strong. And she says, why, thank you, Mr. Brock. And he says, would you mind if I borrowed your nephew for a while? I'm afraid we have business. And he pushes away here. And of course not. You go along, Peter. We'll shop later. He's like, but it may. And I love it. It's all in silhouette, but he does leave a little bit so you can tell um, who's who, or where he puts his hand in there. So um, it's really well done here. And Eddie says, "I'm sure she'll be fine, Peter, after we've gone." So we have some vertical panels here because McFarlane and Frank Miller are the best when it comes to vertical panels here. And so he's like, well, how'd you find me? And he lets him know that he found the address uh, form here. And so he says, that still doesn't explain why you didn't attack me, reveal my spider powers in front of everyone. And so Eddie explains to him, a battle in the sewers might have hurt innocent people. I like to avoid that when possible. And he says, as for your beloved secret identity, well, I want you for myself. If your dual identity were publicly, there'd be too much competition for your scalp. I have no intention of revealing your secrets as long as you play by the rules. And so, love just these panels. He's so creative in how he builds his compositions here. And so Peter asks, and just what do you have in mind? And Eddie says, in the years I spent as a reporter for the Daily Globe, before you destroyed my career by proving one of my best stories to be untrue, I learned a lot of things. One was that the Globe's publisher has an estate on Long Island, Seacrest, on the tip of Montauk. I want you to meet me there tomorrow at sunup. The place is deserted in winter, so we won't be disturbed, he says. I'll be there, says Peter. And Eddie says, yes, so will we. And so Peter's like, I'm not playing by the rules. So Venom almost killed me last time in our battle, and this time out. So love this. So he changed kind of very Supermanish, super like Clark Kent changing in. So that's really cool. I'm getting some help with one of the best, most famous splash pages out there. Now, one of the things that I've always, and it wasn't when he was doing this, but when you look at Spider-Man, he is a little bit meaty, and you'll see that McFarlane actually draws him like if it was The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger or any one of these um, big, strong people. And he doesn't draw Spider-Man thin the way he's sort of supposed to be. And I guess because his art and the way he drew, man, look at these webs. It just, I don't know. I just never noticed it until later on. And I'm like, wait, Spider-Man is kind of bulky. And McFarlane really did draw him pretty bulky. So, and this web, man, I tell you, this thing is, it's beautiful here. So, all right. And so we're in Manhattan here, and you see this guy's falling. More vertical panels. He catches him here. The guy says, thanks. And so Spider-Man says, with my powers, helping people is easy. Now comes the hard part, asking people to help me. They'll probably laugh. So, man. And it's not till you stop and observe that you see, one of the things McFarlane did is you see that he just gave him more webbing. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about his costume webbing. Um and these aren't perfect, but it's just so hard to notice. But you start observing and looking at this, but I mean he really gives him a lot of webbing. And you look at some of these other artists, and he's just normally doesn't have this much here. And so during this time, the Fantastic Four were at Four Freedoms Plaza, not the Baxter Building. And so the Thing had remutated again here, and you can see him. He's even like more super rocky than before here. And so the Thing says, what is this, a joke? And Spider-Man says, look, Ben, the Thing, as a Thing, you were part of the FF when we were in the Beyonders planet. You know that's where the alien symbiote came from, where it first tried to meld with me. And so, of course, it lets readers know Fantastic Four 226. and you know that it hates me because I rejected it. Now it's melded with Eddie Brock, who hates me almost as much. When they become Venom, they're one of the deadliest foes I've ever faced. I need help. And the thing says, then you got it. I'll gather the rest of the team together and put him on standby. So the thing says he is going to help. The minute you need us, web slinger, just holler. Oh my god. Hey Janelle, how much was that rooster? Oh, that's a lot. Was that at Target? Yeah, at first I'm like, oh, that looks. I thought that was the little chicken you buy here.